China is undeniably among one of the few nations which has succeeded and mastered the craft of creating technologically advanced weapons of warfare. Being the United States' #1 rival, the nation has spared no effort in heavily investing in their defense system. Just as the United States began to get comfortable with its advanced fleets of fighter jets, China's terrifying nuclear space missile has destabilized and shocked the US. What are the unique features of this weapon? Does the United States have a similarly advanced weapon? Join us as we delve into the unrivaled characteristics of China's terrifying space missile that has left the US in a shocked state. The relentless competition between China and the US for world power is no longer a secret, and China is making little to no effort to keep its ambition a secret. To achieve this, the country has been investing heavily in the development of advanced weapon systems such as hypersonic missiles, stealth fighters, and cyber warfare. But its latest development has taken the competition to a whole new level. It is a known fact that the United States has the largest military budget in the world, and it spends more than any other country on its armed forces and the development of new weapons. According to a report by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, the US spent roughly $778 billion on its military in just 2020. This amount holds 39% of the total global military expenditure. This amount is more than 3 times higher than China's budget, which is the second runner-up in investing in weapons. It has spent over $252 billion on the development of weapons and upgrading its defense system. But over the years, the amount that China's military has spent on weaponry has grown steadily over 2 decades. Recently, the country announced a 6.8% increase in its defense budget. This has raised concerns among US analysts who have warned that Washington must keep its pace with Beijing's military modernization and expansion. But from the look of things, the United States has several other things to worry about than just budgets. China has been busy with the development of new advanced weapons, and although some of them are not well known to the outside world, but lately, the US's attention has been brought to one of China's new weapons. According to a report by the Financial Times, Dmitry Savila-Poulo and Catherine Hill, China has conducted tests on a hypersonic missile that is capable of carrying nuclear weapons. This missile can travel into space, fly around the Earth, and then descend through the atmosphere towards its intended target, which makes the weapon entirely different from the regular missiles that the world is used to. The test occurred in August 2023, when China launched a Long March 2C rocket into space. On board this rocket was a hypersonic glide vehicle that separated once it attained a specific altitude, maneuvered in a low orbit around Earth, and then re-entered the atmosphere towards a target in the Pacific Ocean. China considered the test's success, even though the weapon missed its target by approximately 20 miles. The Financial Times also reported that China's weapon has posed a significant threat to international stability and the national security of the US due to the weapon's feature, which makes it highly challenging to detect and intercept and gives it the ability to maneuver unpredictably and evade existing missile defense systems. Although the US is also working on creating hypersonic weapons, it is not as advanced as China's. The concept for this warhead weapon began during the Cold War in the 1960s, when the Soviet Union came up with a groundbreaking idea to launch nuclear warheads into low Earth orbit and then deorbit at the right time to strike American cities and any location on Earth. This system is known as the Fractional Orbital Bombardment System. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles that follow a predictable trajectory during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, FOBS takes a different orbital path, and this makes its course highly unpredictable and more challenging to defend against. China's weapon uses a more advanced hypersonic glide vehicle in place of a standard re-entry vehicle. The Fractional Orbital Bombardment System has been a source of concern because of its unique features and its ability to avoid missile defense systems and many early warning systems. While this system can carry out attacks similar to traditional intercontinental ballistic missiles, they approach targets from unexpected directions. Based on information gathered by U.S. intelligence, the nuclear warhead mass of the FOBs needs to be half to quarter that of an intercontinental ballistic missile. They also require a bigger ablative system due to the higher entry velocities. This simply means that the FOBs is less accurate and predictable than an ICBM. To reach their targets, FOBs travel an irregular route into orbit and then re-enter Earth's atmosphere. This is different with ICBMs, which have more predictable altitudes and re-entry tracks. Also, their unpredictable nature of the FOBs makes it difficult to detect and intercept them, reducing the effectiveness of traditional missile defense strategies. Estimating the single-shot kill probability of FOB strikes is more difficult because their operational range extends beyond that of ICBMs. This weapon is innovative for warfare, and it has given China a significant advantage over the United States. Although the US has systems that can monitor and counter missiles moving in a ballistic direction, these systems are not equipped to handle a weapon that can orbit the Earth and go through the atmosphere at hypersonic speed. This nuclear space missile has a wide range of thousands of miles from its launch location to strike a target and can navigate in the air and avoid the normal routine that missiles take. It can also launch an attack from the south, where the US has a weak defense system and coverage. This unique feature makes it almost impossible to stop this hypersonic missile. A professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, an expert on Chinese nuclear weapons strategy, and a member of the board of directors of the National Committee on U.S.-China Relations, Taylor Fravel, mentioned that he was not aware of the test. He also stated that a hypersonic glide vehicle armed with a nuclear warhead may enable China to negate U.S. missile defense systems meant to neutralize incoming ballistic missiles. Since hypersonic glide vehicles have the capability to fly at lower trajectories and can maneuver in flight, making them hard to trace and destroy, Taylor added that the weapon would have destabilizing effect if China fully developed and deployed such a weapon. The United States has also developed systems to track and counter missiles that fly in a ballistic trajectory, rising and falling in a fixed position. However, these systems are not prepared to counter a weapon that can orbit the Earth and fly through the air at hypersonic speed. This simply means that China's new weapon is a stealthy and unpredictable threat that could catch the US off guard. As a result of the growing concerns, the United States is currently developing countermeasures to this hypersonic weapon, although they are not yet prepared. They may face many challenges, such as tracking and identifying China's weapon, keeping up with its rapid speed and flexibility, dealing with multiple weapons at the same time, and coordinating with other sensors and systems. Frank Kendall, the U.S. Air Force Secretary, expressed concern a few months ago about China's significant advancements in this area, hinting at the possibility of global space-based strikes. General Glenn Van Herk, head of the North American Aerospace Defense Command, also warned about China's advanced hypersonic capabilities, providing significant challenges to threat warning and attack assessment. One potential scenario is launching these weapons from underground silos being built in the Chinese desert. These silos could hide ballistic missiles equipped with hypersonic weapons, launching them without warning. This would force the Pentagon to create a new space-based system capable of tracking and countering these weapons, providing early detection of an incoming attack. But this is just the beginning of the United States' worries. In addition to this terrifying nuclear space missile, China also has in its possession the most extensive fleet of conventional drones. The pterodactyl was created by the Chengdu Aircraft Design Institute, a part of the Aviation Industry Corporation of China, and it is quite similar to the Predator Reaper drones from the United States. This drone can be equipped with different sensors like an infrared turret and synthetic aperture radar. It is also capable of carrying weapons. The total weight it can carry, including sensors and weapons, is 200 kilograms, estimated to be between 60 and 70 ships. They also have 20 nuclear-powered submarines, 4 of which are ballistic missile submarines that can fire nuclear bombs. The country has been steadily working to catch up, especially in terms of quieting and propulsion. China has also recently revealed a guided missile submarine, one of its most sophisticated vessels, and this update was disclosed in the recent Pentagon report on China's military capabilities. This kind of submarine is capable of underwater guided missile launches. There are two primary types of guided missile submarines: ballistic missile submarines and cruise missile submarines. SSBNs feature nuclear-armed missiles that can reach locations thousands of kilometers away. This development has expanded China's military prowess, allowing both land and sea attack capabilities that was previously dominated by the United States and Russia. The Pentagon's report, issued on October 20, provides the first apparent confirmation that the submarines observed in Chinese shipyards over the past 18 months are the type O-93B guided missile submarines. Earlier in May 2022, Reuters had already exposed satellite images from the Huludao shipyard in northeast China, revealing a new or upgraded class of submarines. These submarines were speculated to have vertical tubes for launching cruise missiles. The report and images has proven China's advancements in naval capabilities, especially when it comes to nuclear-powered submarines. The Pentagon report states that there is a high probability that in the nearest future, the Chinese Navy will be able to launch precise long-range attacks on land targets from both submarines and surface ships using land attack cruise missiles. These missiles enhance China's ability to project power. These conventionally armed missile submarines, known as SSGNs, were originally created by the Soviet Union during the Cold War to target U.S. aircraft carriers. The U.S. Navy later developed its own version by modifying ballistic missile boats to carry a significant number of land attack Tomahawk cruise missiles. Unlike ballistic weapons, cruise missiles are precise, long-range weapons that fly at low altitudes or skim the surface of the sea. The report mentions that 3 new conventionally armed missile submarines could be ready by next year, part of a broader expansion of China's submarine fleet, which may include 65 vessels by 2025. The Chinese Defense Ministry didn't answer Reuters' questions. This confirmation comes amid a growing submarine arms race, with China developing new nuclear-armed boats as part of its evolving deterrent force. Tracking China's submarines is a key reason for increased deployments and planning by the U.S. Navy and other Indo-Pacific militaries. Colin Coe, a security scholar, sees the SSGNs as a crucial capability for China. Equipped with cruise missiles, they could conduct land and anti-ship attacks at a distance, complicating strategic decisions for China's rivals. Coe suggests that China might have learned from Russia's use of SSGNs to threaten U.S. aircraft carriers, providing a real advantage. Research at the U.S. Naval War College in May suggested China was close to making its nuclear-powered submarines quieter and harder to track. However, it's uncertain if these advancements apply to the newly launched SSGNs. Some analysts believe that the weapon would be deployed with caution until it gets improved, but the submarine force remains a priority for Xi Jinping. Military analysts have also spotted WZ-8 in Chinese Air Force test bases through satellite images. The public got a glimpse of this supersonic hypersonic reconnaissance drone on October 1, 2019, and it was later revealed to the public eye at the Zhuhai Air Show in 2021. The WZ-8 is a remotely operated, high-altitude reconnaissance drone that is capable of supersonic and hypersonic speeds. While it looks somewhat like the DF-ZF hypersonic glide vehicle on the DF-17 missile and the American Lockheed D-21 drone, it differs in size, propulsion, and speed. The drone takes off from a Xi'an H-6M bomber, which is referred to as the mothership, and launches at the right angle. It then activates its rocket motors to reach its operational speed and altitude. Designed for general reconnaissance, pre-attack target assessment, and intelligence gathering, the drone can reportedly achieve hypersonic speed at an altitude of 50,000 meters, near space level. The United States intelligence spotted the drone flying over Taiwan or the Yellow Sea at Mach 3 speed at an altitude of 100,000 feet. Possessing a drone that can fly at an extremely high altitudes and speeds meets intelligence needs in combat scenarios where satellite support is impractical, like repeated flyovers above specific areas of interest. According to Chi Lipin from Taiwan's National Chung-Shan Institute of Science and Technology, the drone is not mainly targeted at Taiwan, but rather at U.S. military bases in the Pacific, serving as an anti-access area denial weapon. Dean Chung from the Potomac Institute for Policy Studies adds that the drone is designed for surveillance, posing concerns not just for the United States or South Korea, but also for countries like Japan, India, and all of Southeast Asia. In 2023, some leaked U.S. government documents revealed a report by the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. The report stated that China most likely has its first supersonic UAV unit using the WZ-8 drone at Liuan Air Base, located outside Luan in Dushan County. This airbase falls under the Eastern Theater Command, responsible for operations against Taiwan and in the East China Sea. The document mentioned that the drone, equipped with sensors like electro-optical imaging and synthetic aperture radar, could collect intelligence on Taiwan and the western side of South Korea. The drone was said to be deployed at Anqing Air Base in 2021. As of 2023, the United States intelligence reports indicate that the drone and its H-6 mothership are operated by the Eastern Theater Command Air Force from Liuan Air Base in Anhui Province. The H-6M bombers associated with this setup are reported to belong to the 10th Bomber Division. Another formidable weapon in China's possession is the Dongfeng 17. This fighter jet, is also known as East Wind 17, is a Chinese medium-range ballistic missile. It uses solid fuel and can be transported on roads. Its main purpose is to carry the DF-ZF hypersonic glide vehicle. The fighter jet was introduced during China's National Day military parade on October 1, 2019, is China's first operational hypersonic weapons system. It is among the world's earliest to be fully operational. When it comes to design, the DF-17 uses the rocket booster from the already active DF-16B short-range ballistic missile, requiring little changes to the missile itself. The only change is the use of a hypersonic glide vehicle instead of a typical re-entry warhead found in regular ballistic missiles. The fighter jet, along with the DF-ZF, is expected to target American aircraft carriers within its effective range, especially as China's existing anti-ship ballistic missiles use conventional re-entry vehicles, which are faster but less maneuverable. Over time, the DF-17 and DF-ZF may be used for both land attack and anti-ship purposes. The DF-ZF HGV operates differently from normal ballistic missiles. Instead of following a regular arc when fired, it alters its trajectory and accelerates to reach Mach 5. Because the DF-ZF glides at a lower altitude with a changed trajectory, it becomes much more challenging and complex to intercept using anti-ballistic missile shielding compared to a regular re-entry vehicle. The gliding feature also makes the DF-ZF more maneuverable, extending its range and making it harder to intercept with ABM shielding. Despite using a booster from the DF-16 short-range ballistic missile, the DF-17 is considered a medium-range ballistic missile. Additionally, the DF-17 has the flexibility to carry a more standard re-entry vehicle if needed. DF-17 prototypes were being tested from 2014, with at least 9 test flights occurring between January 2014 and November 2017. On November 1, 2017, a significant test flight from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in Inner Mongolia took place. The missile's payload traveled about 1,400 kilometers, and the hypersonic glide vehicle flew at a lower altitude of around 60 kilometers after completing the ballistic and re-entry phases of the DF-17. This test happened after the first plenum of the Communist Party of China's 19th Party Congress in October. The missile was officially showcased during the National Day Parade on October 1, 2019. This list would not be complete without mentioning the Chengdu J-20. This fighter jet is also known as the Mighty Dragon, and it is a stealth fighter developed by China's Chengdu Aerospace Corporation for the People's Liberation Army Air Force. It is designed for air superiority and precision strike missions. The J-20 has 3 variants: the initial production model J-20A, the thrust vectoring J-20B, and the twin-seat J-20S capable of teaming. Originating from the JXX program in the 1990s, the aircraft had its maiden flight on January 11, 2011, and was officially revealed in 2016. It entered service in March 2017, with the first combat unit formed in February 2018, making China the second country and the first in Asia to have an operational stealth aircraft. This fighter jet is renowned for a reason, and its capabilities have placed China at the forefront of technological advancements. With the capabilities of the few weapons that were mentioned, it is obvious that China is gradually becoming a force to be reckoned with. Thanks for watching. While you're still here, click on the link appearing on your screen to watch another of our interesting videos. See you there.